Oh, first things first, man. You mess with the worst. What's up? It's your boy Carcino. Wake up. Where y'all at? Don't forget to hit the like button coming through the door, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button coming through the door. Said it before. Notifications. I don't know what else to do. I've been working out. So we just keep fighting, man. That's all we can do. We got to keep fighting. Now, let's get to it, though, while we're here. Let's talk about it. So we heard Fifth go into a whole live where he just went into not a live. He went into a breakdown in his audiobook talking about Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo. And I don't have a problem with anything that he said, to be honest. I have no problem with anything that he said. I'm serious. Well, I'm trying not to repeat myself 1,000 times in the video. So this is why we go the route that we go. The pillars of the chat. Hit the like button coming through the door. Now, so 50 basically broke down about G Unit, like why they weren't more successful. He blamed Tony Yayo's, his desire to basically sell drugs and just, use the street tactics in order to come up. And then for Banks, he basically said he's lazy. He's lazy Lloyd. And he's like, he even got that tattooed on him. And he didn't even want to talk about the situation. But everything that he said is factual. Lloyd is the type of guy who don't want the attention. He's the guy that don't want to be on social media. He's the guy that's not going to take the chances to be successful. Lloyd is not that guy. Banks he's not concerned with none of these things. I mean, the tragedy of it, if you could say tragedy, the tragedy of the situation is that they're not really close. right now. Like, he hasn't talking to 50 in months, if not a year, at least. They haven't spoken together in a long time. But Lloyd wants somebody to do something for him. I understand that artist. I've seen that artist. They great, immensely talented, but you got to drag them to the stage. I understand that. I understand Banks being upset. That the book is a publicity stunt. Well, right now, Phil don't need a publicity stunt. He's executive producer now of all these television series and projects and film and everything. He's reinvented himself. Now he don't even have to touch music if he don't want to. He just do it to keep himself attached. But no one of his stature has really survived the times without completely changing and becoming something else. Like Fat Joe was Fat Joe the Gangster. Then he became the spokesperson of Miami. And making all this soft music with DJ Khaled. Changing his whole look and image. No, the thing is, Lloyd Banks responded in a diss record. The diss record he dropped is called Cold Summer Remix. Or Freestyle, rather. Cold Summer Freestyle. And he basically in the song is saying how, how this is just treachery and, he's leaving stuff out. Like, you forgetting all the stuff I did for you while you talking. Like, it really wasn't about that. It was more about the finances of it. But Fifth is like, I'm not going to keep financially promoting Lloyd Banks if he's not going to do what I need him to do. Like, if he's not going to be active on social media, if he's not going to make himself relevant. I mean, it's up to the public. Which one do you believe? Do you believe 50's interpretation of Lloyd Banks? I believe 50's interpretation of Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks would not have sold one record if it wasn't for 50 Cent. Let's be honest. He would not have sold one record if it wasn't for 50 Cent. If Lloyd Banks had never got with G-Unit, he probably would have never gotten a record deal. Let's be honest. As great as an MC he is, and definitely hit the like button, people, where the hell you guys are? He would have never gotten a record deal. So the whole appeal and the situations change. So the changing of the guard, meaning that if 50 Cent didn't come into Lloyd Banks' life, or Lloyd Banks didn't come into his life, he should know 50 created a pathway for you to feed your family and take care of yourself. You was in a position and you made a ton of money, but now you're saying you're making more. If you listen to the Cold Summer Freestyle, he's saying he's making more now being independent. He's doing better on the independent route. So everybody like, man, I don't even see Banks no more. Banks has got a name now. But you wouldn't have that name if it wasn't for 50. Because 50 was the voice. 50 brought y'all into existence. If it wasn't G-Unit, we would have never heard how great Lloyd Banks is. To be like, man, hey, that guy is something. You were put on that platform of the world stage, so now that you can go independent, you still have the name where people remember you from G Unit. They remember that's Lloyd Banks. You could sit on Hip Hop DX and XXL and Breakfast Club. You can do all that stuff because you have a name. You ain't up there on Hot 97 freestyles with Flex. Nobody said they didn't help Fifth, but do you think 50 Cent really needed them to get a record deal? He got that without him. Because I already did that video on One Crack News. Talk about those issues on One Crack News. Quick words about that. How all the celebrities all of a sudden get all outraged at the same time. I find that to be peculiar. Lloyd Banks even mentioned it in his song about, right. Then now they're going to go make an arrest. You know, why wasn't an arrest done before this? Who was the person that filmed the video? I mean, this was back in February. People think this just happened like yesterday. Somebody like, I thought this happened like last week. No, this is back in February. But back to the topic at hand. Okay, you said it messed up his career because Lloyd Banks wasn't able to work with Nas. Okay, granted. You said they weren't able to work with Nas and Jada. Do you think at that time Lloyd Banks was complaining, man, I can't work with Nas and Jada? They were dissing them. They were dissing them. They didn't care. Lloyd Banks even said it out his own mouth. Man, I don't care if 50 diss your moms. I'm riding with him. No matter what. It's loyalty. That's just how it was. So you think he cared about not doing songs with Jada and Nas? He was dissing them. Fifth brought all them into his beef, but that's how we knew, and they got popularized. Being on those records. When Fifth was responding back to Nas, he got Banks doing all the rapping. See, people always complain when the money's low. Or the things ain't, You know, the energy ain't the same no more. People kind of moving on to this guy. So now it's time to evolve with the times. They don't want to do that. They want to stay right where they are and continuously do the same thing, no matter if it's working or not. And they thinking they just gonna get financially supported through that. This is not friendship. This is a business. So the business is saying, look, we need you to, do this or be active, and you don't want to do it. Nobody asking you to wear skinny jeans. They just saying, look, you got to be active on social media. You got to be a little bit more involved. I mean, we didn't see Lloyd Banks do that till after he got away from 50, really. Did he go online and start doing stuff? We just took 20 seconds to speak on it. Whoever this guy is, Mr. Moore, who came in here and decided to speak, and I told him as soon as he said that, we spoke about that incident on One Crack News. And I told him right as soon as he said that how all the celebrities got outraged about that at the same time is pretty peculiar to me, when the situation happened back in February. So if you want to hear some on it, go to One Crack News. We speak about it over there. Now, he don't own Lloyd, no. But he was his artist on G Unit Records. So that's what people think, like this is a homeboy thing. It ain't a homeboy thing. It's a record business. It's a record company. You get paid by the record label. 50 is the president of that record label. And once people don't respect that and they start looking at it as, no, we homeboys. It's like hiring a family in business. Family think, hey man, we family. It's like, are you serious? Is that what you took out of this? We making all these records and making this money just to be family? It's not how this works, son. It's not how it works at all. Well, if you look at it in its totality, and don't forget to hit the like button, people. And if you want to support the page, my Cash App is Carceno, Karceno. And for the newbies, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss nothing. Even though they're going to find a way to try to do what they do anyway. Now, moving right along. For the life of me, I can't understand a couple of things that I need explained. Why get outraged over the book when you know Fifth is basically going to tell all in his book and his practices, and he said he's not doing it out of disrespect to you, which he really wasn't. He was telling the truth. He was honest. My thing is, what part of that book, or what portion of that, would Banks have a problem with? Was Fifth lying when he said you got Lazy Lloyd tattooed on you? He carried himself as a lazy artist, a guy who didn't want to do much. He just wanted to rhyme. That was his persona. He's always been that guy. But that's not how the music business works. You know how many artists would love to just show up and rap? Or show up and sing? No, he didn't talk about him in a negative way. He was just being honest. But some people pride, they can't take it. Yeah, I'm over here in 8 Mile, Park City, Illinois. Yep. Don't ask me why. Well, I just left the radio station. 103.9 Fox radio station, the satellite station. Yeah, well, you got to look at it for different reasons. You know, when other people came in my direction, I didn't complain, I didn't cry, I didn't say, "Oh, I need a break," or I'm just a workaholic. So I understood 50's approach, period. You know what I'm saying? I understood his whole approach. Because one, you're looking at a situation where I get the work ethic. I'm more attached to 50 than all the rest of them because I understand that mentality. I ain't gonna say they didn't do anything for 50, but Lloyd's upset because he knows it's true. And everybody is hitting Lloyd up about it. Yo, 50 dissed you, 50 dissed you, 50 dissed you. So now he felt, I gotta make a rhyme. Because in the rap, he basically just talking about unloyalty and all this, but he not calling Fifth a liar. You see, he's just upset that he did it. And I'm like, if I'm Tony Yayo should feel worse. He said worse about Tony. But it's true. Tony Yayo has never been that guy that want to be off the block. He's only now willing to, go that route, to go that extra mile, to conform, to be on social media for a little bit if he need to. But Tony has never been that kind of guy, and he knows that. Tony is the guy that's going to want to be on the block. He was like, look, let's take that 100 we got from that club appearance. Let's flip that, go buy 3 bricks, hit the block, make some real money. That's Tony. See, and this is another thing I try to get people to understand. Just because you're not a part of a major record movement, and all of these different things like, let's say, G Unit, you don't have to be a part of on a major scale. I told every artist that's trying to sign with a major, be independent. That's why I don't understand why these other artists want to basically go the route of signing to the majors. You make the majors come to you, or you'll look just as stupid as this 6ix9ine kid. This 6ix9ine kid, everybody thinks he's going to be so rich, he's going to have all this money. No, he's not. They're going to go through every little dime he makes. He's going to owe everybody everything. And just when they think they've got enough, they've earned enough off him, and they got every coin they can, then they pull the plug and they move on to the next guy while he's putting out songs that nobody cares about anymore. All his attention is off of him. No one really cares. And then here comes the pew, pew. And no one's going to miss him. Now, moving right along, I don't think he'll drop this album to 50. But this is what I'm trying to tell people. When you guys saying, I don't even see Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks was touring. He was doing shows. But social media be like, I ain't seen Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks has been doing shows, getting paid, getting money. And realize I don't need the middleman. I could drop my own mixtapes, and those who are checking for me can find me. They come on my social media page. They could do that, hit me up, and boom, there I am. But my thing is this. Lloyd Banks ate and was treated better on G-Unit Records than he would if he was signed directly to Aftermath and Interscope. Now, if he was signed by Dr. Dre, or let's say he was signed to Shady Records, which he wasn't, he still get royalty checks off all the songs he did. He still get those checks in the mail. He has a career now. He's did songs with Eminem. He's done songs with everybody. Now, Banks can go and have an independent career and still make money off the name that people remember him from rapping with 50 and everybody else in G-Unit. So his stock will be a lot higher than any other artist coming in independently. So he don't need the majors. Let's talk about Drake for a minute. As an example, Drake has been under one of the worst contracts in history. Drake and Nicki both signed I'm a fan, I want to be involved in the business contract. All those hit records Drake has put out. And the reason why Drake was working so much is to get out of that deal. And he finally did it. This is what Pusha T used to brag on when he was dissing Drake. One nigger signed to another Negro that signed to another Negro that signed to another Negro. That's why he was making fun of Drake and his situation. Because Drake was signed to, he got Jay Prince. He got to pay. He got to pay Baby. He signed the Cash Money. He signed the Young Money. And then for distribution, Republic, which is part of Universal. So you got four people, 4 divisions that's getting their money before you get your dollar. You got Baby, Wayne, Jay Prince, and Republic. So even though he had OVO, he came out with OVO, he wasn't getting paid. He was getting paid off the other artists like Party and The Weeknd and all those guys. He was getting paid off them. He was getting paid off writing songs for Rihanna and all that stuff. He was getting paid more of those than his own use. Now, even though his albums was doing records and breaking all these records and doing all these things, that's where the money was being made. Yeah, me and Prague was talking about this. I call him Prague. Prague still ain't seen the video I did when we was talking about the dancing. He still ain't seen that yet. We was talking about his music video. Now, what happened was this. Everything now is changed for Drake. Now he's cut out Cash Money and Young Money. He's now his own signed to his own label, which is OVO. So you got OVO and it's being distributed through the Republic. That's the distributor. So now he's cut out the middleman. So now you'll probably see his name near the top Forbes list in earnings. People will be like, man, Drake sold all these records. Why is he only like 6 or 7? He's saying Drake only made this amount of money. Why he got like, then he had a #1 album and all that stuff. Why he ain't up there with the Taylor Swifts? Taylor Swift now making like 200 million and all this. Like, what's going on here? Where's Drake? That's why you didn't see Drake up there. He signed a fanboy contract. But he had to do that. And he had to take those bumps. Because the record game is so dirty. It wasn't like, man, dude, we're going to refinance your contract. I mean, you know, we're going to renegotiate your contract because you're making so much money. I mean, you doing all this and that. I think you earn more. Of course he earned more. He knew he deserved more. And it ain't like he wasn't rich. He had money, but he knew, I got a contract. So I'm going to honor this contract, get out this thing, and then we can talk. Then I'm going to come back to the table. So now he's signed to himself. He pays himself. So the money don't go through Cash Money and Young Money no more. It go directly to OVO. So Drake gets to pay himself. Well, that's the key for Drake. That was the key for him. So now, everything now is going to be a whole different thing. Now, you're going to have a lot of people hate on him more. All the love he was getting, now he done cut some people off. You're going to start seeing people like the love change. But that's what I'm saying. Drake can be independent. Drake could be independently because he's really independent. He's being distributed, but he's really an independent artist now. His, OVO sound gets distributed through Republic. Where's the love? There is no love. It's the music business, baby. It's the music business. If they didn't love Michael Jackson, if they didn't love Prince, why the hell they gonna love you? You special? They didn't love them. Prince had to write slave on the side of his face to get the attention from the media. People forgot. It's the record business. The formula haven't changed. Nothing has changed in the benefit of the artist. It's going to be in the benefit of the company. And then on the flip side of the coin, most of the artists are untalented enough to be signed, and they are ungrateful. And they'll run out to anybody who got a bag for them. They're unloyal and ungrateful. They like spoiled brat kids who feel entitled. That's a lot of the artists. You might got 2% that are really some artists that's really good and really talented and really could do something in this business. But that don't mean that they're the ones that's going to make it. I mean, he ain't really called Lloyd lazy. My thing is, Lloyd is lazy. Is he not? Is Lloyd Banks not lazy? Lloyd Banks is one of the laziest people I know in this game. He has the patience of a high school teacher. He's laid back Lloyd. Lamborghini Lloyd. Lloyd Banks is only popular because of 50. There's no doubt. We would have never known his skill. He would have been another freestyle artist that we seen come up to flex and rip. And we'd be like, man, dude, cold. Why he never blew? He would have probably never got a record deal. If he did, he'd have had one album out that didn't even go gold. And that was it. The studios would have stopped putting money into him and he would have faded out. Because Fifth saw how talented he is as a rapper, put him in the group when Tony Yayo brought him up and said, this dude's sick. We need him in the group. And that was G-Unit. 50 was already bigger than life. Before Lloyd Banks was even there, 50 had a record deal. So Fifth was always going to be that guy. He's that personality. He's the only one that could be who he is. Jay-Z had to reinvent himself and put on a suit and tie and try to be this whole new guy with glasses. And I'm just subtle talking Jay. He couldn't be Jay Hova or Jigga Man. He couldn't be that guy no more. It wasn't like I got old and I grew out of it. You know, he wanted to get to that upper echelon with those other people is the Jay Morrises and the CEOs. You know, Fifth wasn't doing that. Right, he easy listening Jay now. I'm up there with the Doug Morrises and I'm trying to do the corporate offices. But I know it's Moritz. So he ain't the S. Dot man no more. He can't come out there talking about, I remove your roof, nigga, let the sun shine in. You know, he ain't that J no more. When my gat is tucked, is fat as fuck. Ignorant bastard, I'm taking it back to day one. No kids, but trust me, I know how to raise a gun. For all y'all think I spend my life in the sun. Well, here's the shock of your life. The mic, knocking the mic. Nigga, I'm not in the hype, homie. I'm still street. That guy is gone. Now, if you take 50, 50 is a whole different type of animal. Fifth is the same guy he's been since the Power of the Dollar and all of those songs until now. Fifth can wear a big chain with diamonds on it, a baseball cap. He's the only guy who can still be his same image. Now, he does wear suits and ties when he goes to events, but that ain't who Fifth is. You know Fifth wearing a suit just because the requirements there was people wear suits. But he can take that off and go right back to the baseball cap, the doggone blue jeans, the Gucci belt. Fifth is still Fifth. He can say what the hell he wants. He can still be associated with Uncle Murder. He could be associated with all these rap acts that Jay couldn't. Jay signed Uncle Murder and couldn't be signed with Uncle Murder no more. He signed Uncle Murder because he was scared. He had beef and he wanted Uncle Murder's protection. So he signed Uncle Murder and gave him some money and saying, I got these issues with these Dipset guys. So I'm going to need some protection. So he signed them. So the Jay-Z Uncle Murder, they did one song together. And Uncle Murder album still didn't come out, but he got a lot of money. People ask me, yo, what's up with you and Jay-Z? We good. I ain't blow that money he gave me. Brooklyn, the home of the bad guys. When somebody died, we don't ask why. Uncle Murder, East New York. Don't forget to hit the like button. Y'all getting it raw and uncut today from the sauce. Jay wasn't a tough guy, but don't ever question if he have the heart to shoot you. The answer is simply too dark for the user. He shot his own brother, so what that tell you? Don't ever question if he got the heart to shoot you. The answer is simply too dark for the user. He had his dude stabbed over a doggone female. So what does that let you know about his tendencies? Very light-skinned tendencies. The jealousy level. You know, this is a guy who was teased for being ugly the majority of his life. He had the Dennis Rodman syndrome. Then he turns around, change his whole image up by start buying all these fresh clothes. So people looking at his jewelry, his clothes, start selling drugs just for the image. So he started buying all this jewelry so they wouldn't look at his face. They looking at his doggone jewelry, his watch, his shoes, his whip. They used to tell their friends I was ugly and wouldn't touch me. And then I showed up in that dubbed out buggy. And then they got fuzzy and they don't remember that. That's why I don't remember you. You know, he was letting you know. That's why his rhymes was all materialistic. See, you guys don't hear the music, and you got to realize the theme of it's the personality of who they are. Jay's materialistic because that's what people he wanted people to see and notice about him because he really didn't have nothing else but that. You know, people looked at him and used to call him ugly. They used to call him Donkey Boy. Before people in the industry started calling him a camel and all this stuff, they used to call him Donkey Boy J. So, right, then everybody in the industry started calling him Joe Camel. But when he was growing up, the kids used to make fun of him. Girls, they call him Donkey Boy and all that stuff. So when you hear all this growing up, you're going to be bitter towards women. You'll look at them differently. That's why Jay treated women the way that he did. So it's a whole different thing here than what people would know. Um, here's the situation. Um, you're in a spot where many other people would be, let's say, they would be probably grateful to be in the situation, right? So if you Lloyd Banks, and I'm not saying Lloyd is unfaithful and unloyal, he's one of the loyal people I know because he's never said anything because there was nothing really for him to say. He went about it doing his thing independently. That's why I was shocked when he made this little freestyle. But I guess he felt he needed to say that for his core audience. You know, so when you got your core audience out there, this is exactly what people expect. They're looking at, they see the situation, they say, okay, I get it now. This is where it is. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else is a mess. I never felt a certain way about anything, to be honest. Let's just get that addressed right now. 50, if it wasn't for 50, Banks would not be where he is. Don't forget, hit that like button, and you can support this page by hitting up the Cash App. Carcino is the name on the Cash App. Karceno. And if y'all new here, don't forget to subscribe. No, the thing is that the game changed. And that's what 50 is trying to say. When the times change, you don't become old because of your age. You become old when you stop changing with the times. And people do that, they become cool with it. That's like me. And when I see the things, everybody going to these cut hole jeans and all that and skinny jeans, I said, oh, that's what they doing? I'm out. I'm going to stay right here. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. No, I'm cool right here. No skinny jeans for me. No jeans with no holes in them. I live in Chicago. It's going to be cold. Why the hell I want to freeze my legs off? I saw a dumb chick sitting over there with holes in her doggone pants. And at the bus stop, waiting on the bus, it's snowing and cold out there, and she trying to cover up. I'm like, well, if you bought pants that were, all the way down, wouldn't be exposing your damn legs. You wouldn't be freezing your dumb ass off. So I'm like, I would give you a ride, but I think you need to freeze for your stupidity right now. Yeah, I might do that. I might do the Randy Orton beef. Well, this ain't my neighborhood I'm in right now. I'm in the hood right now. I am in the hood. You know where I'm at? I'm in Park City. Park City, Illinois is about this big. It's nothing but the 8 Mile trailer home. I just left the radio station over here. I don't think nobody here on the up and up. This area got like one way in, one way out. It is a maze. Oh yeah, they got some of the finest, ratchetest women over here, but either they brother a drug dealer or they ex-man is a drug dealer. It's just like, oh, okay, I get it. Over here, this is 8 Mile gone wild. Park City. Man, they ain't worried about my car over here. Dude, they got cars 10 times worth more than mine. They ain't worried about me at all. Now, if I go down the block, then you go, then you might have to be worried about some things. Then you might have to have a ratchet on you just in case. We should have been there by now. Yep, and here's the gun range. Yeah, that's where I used to go. Right there in Wisconsin, to the gun range. I guess this car behind me thought I'm going to trust somebody from Waukegan to drive the way they're supposed to drive. No, I don't think so. I'm going to wait until they just go ahead and make their turn. I'm not going to think they going to just say, okay, he going to take that lane, so I'm going to take this lane. No, 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 baby. You do not assume. Is The Hunger for More a classic album? It's a great album. I wouldn't call it a classic, but I think it's a great album. Yeah, I did a radio station interview. I had to go down there today. We were talking about the business, the stuff that happened with the police outrage, with the brother that got shot by the jogger. I mean, the jogger that got shot. They wanted to talk about that. So he kept saying, man, you just got to come down to my radio station and do that. I'm like, all right, I came down there and did that for him. Now it's time to go back. I'm telling you, man, the things I do. Could you guys be Carcino for a day? I mean, you don't have time to even eat breakfast. I'm about to pass the radio station again. There's the radio station that I just left and made a big circle coming around. Yeah, and that's the screwed up part is I probably won't even get a chance to hear it. Uber driver, shoot, the way YouTube doing me, I might be driving an Uber. But I wouldn't be driving an Uber, like driving people around. Nah. Food, that's where the money's at. Told people that before this whole outbreak hit. Start delivering food. Told people that. Food is where the money's at. That way you can drop it off. You can choose what you want to do. You can work for 3 different companies. They're aligned for 3 different businesses. You can sign up for Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. And whenever one you want to be on, whatever one hits, boom, you just go there. You're going to make so much money doing that when you can only work 3-4 hours a day. You're your own boss. You don't have to listen to nobody. You're good. You ain't got to go in and talk to some shift supervisor and deal with all that nonsense. All you got to do is stick with the format and you're going to be good. You don't need nobody else's support. You don't need nobody else's help. You good. Now, Uber Sleep. They will rest for you. Whenever you're tired, call Uber Sleep. Call Uber Sleep. I got some stuff to do and I don't want to go to sleep. Can you go to sleep for me? Yes. We can go to sleep for you. You come over. You got a pillow? Yeah, there's a pillow. Uber Sleep. Oh man, that would be too funny. So don't forget to subscribe to the page, newbies, and we'll be back later.